Canada is making good on its threat to retaliate against the U.S. dollar for dollar. Our northern neighbors announced new tariffs of up to 50% on hundreds of American goods. Now, this escalation could be a serious concern on both sides of the border. Canada's finance minister says the countermeasures designed to protect Canadian industries. Its government signaled the nation is bracing for a longer-term economic hit. On the takeout last night, Ontario Premier Doug Ford spoke with Major Garrett about the tension. He told CBS News Canada is prepared, but he hopes trade talks can resume.
It's going to hurt both sides of the border, but we don't have the $40 trillion debt. We don't have problems with our bonds. Right now, the U.S. is feeling the pressure financially. This was an unprovoked attack on Canadians, on our sovereignty. He keeps mentioning 51st state. No, that's not going to fly. So let's see how this plays out. Hopefully everyone comes to their senses and we have a fair deal for both countries.
CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro joins us from our DC bureau with more on this. Aaron, good morning. So the hope is, I guess, with all trade bluster, that cooler heads prevail. So where do negotiations even stand this morning?
Good morning, Errol. It's a good question. The White House has maintained that there are not future talks planned, and President Trump has said that there could be more tariffs coming for Canada starting on January for their automobiles, adding to that 50% tariff that the White House imposed on hundreds of Canadian goods starting last Saturday. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who had some choice words to describe President Trump, also said yesterday he does hope negotiations resume, and the retaliatory tariffs from Canada are expected to take effect September 8th, providing a window, a small window, for both sides to come back to the table and potentially make progress on the deal. But there is a political cost for President Trump and this White House, especially for the numerous states in the U.S. that border Canada or whose economies are especially tied to Canada, either through lumber, steel, the potash for fertilizers, as well as automobiles. I'm thinking of New York, Ohio, Michigan in particular. And one Michigan Republican in the competitive congressional district, Congressman Tom Barrett, talked to Major Garrett yesterday about all of this. Take a listen.
Canada is our largest trading partner in Michigan. We have a lot of products that go back and forth over the border. I want to make sure that we have certainty in our markets, that we have certainty in our trade relationships, and that we have an arrangement that benefits both the United States and our trading partners in Canada. I'm still hopeful that we can get to that point.
Now, in addition to the retaliatory tariffs from Canada, Ford also said Ontario may retaliate with surcharges on energy that they provide to U.S. states across the border. Yesterday, President Trump didn't seem like he wanted to budge at all on all of this. He wrote that Canada is the most difficult and unreasonable country he has dealt with in terms of trade, and floated the idea of renaming Lake Ontario Lake America. Ford on the takeout yesterday was dismissive of that idea, saying, quote, "It's always going to be Lake Ontario here in Canada."
All right, Aaron, thank you very much. Now, for the Canadian perspective, we're joined by Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow. Mayor, good morning and welcome. Help our viewers understand how these tariffs may impact people in your city and how your Buy Canadian initiative is meant to protect against that.
And to President Trump, for generations, our close relationships have produced a lot of prosperity on both sides of the border. And so I don't really understand why President Trump is attacking us, because the price of everything is going to go up. We have a Buy Toronto, Buy Canadian initiative because we have to protect ourselves. And we are very clear. We are your best neighbors. We are your allies for centuries. And let us not attack each other. Let's work together, because that produces jobs and prosperity.
That's a great sentiment on a good day. But as you say, you're confused as to why this is happening now. And as our reporter in D.C. just mentioned, that President Trump is taunting Canada, saying he wants to rename Lake Ontario Lake America. What do you make of that threat?
Look, it's not a very neighborly thing to do. We're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves. My brother, my cousins are all Americans. We are so tied economically, and you get the best deal from oil, lumber, and auto parts. So to do this kind of senseless, brutal attack, why? There's absolutely no reason. And I think Mr. Trump should take a page from Dolly Parton. She's loving, she's generous, she's joyous. That's the way to treat your best neighbor and your friends, not just bullying. And that's not who we are. And that's why we have to retaliate in order to defend ourselves and protect ourselves with the $28 billion counter tariffs.
And so what's your strategy then for the next few weeks? I know that you had pledged to create some 16,000 jobs, I believe, this year. How can you still meet that commitment?
It's going to be painful because the price and the uncertainty is going to cost, but we have this huge Love Local campaign. It's everywhere, and they're looking at, is this apple from Canada? Is it from US? I'm buying my Canadian apple. And we're calling on American viewers to give a shout and give a call to your local representative. Because I think Mr. Trump has lost his way with his midnight schoolyard bullying. And it's just like it's causing chaos and uncertainty. It's certainly not the way to treat your best allies.
Well, Mayor Olivia Chow, we appreciate you joining us this morning from Toronto, and we hear your message to be more like Dolly Parton as everyone absorbs the news of her passing. Mayor, thank you very much. Come back anytime.
Thank you.